just can't keep your foot out your mouth, can you, boy? Let me help. Don't fuck with the lords of hell.
Don't fuck with the babysitter.
All right, baby, chill out. Shit. Girl's crazy.
Hey guys, it's the Large Marge Sent Us podcast. The best podcast you've ever heard in your entire life about two sweeties living the dream, watching movies, talking about them, gabbing, drinking, laughing.
We didn't drink tonight. We haven't drank in a couple.
Oh yeah. What?
Just too tired.
Yeah, but that's great. We're not alcoholics.
Woo! Break the cycle.
I'm sweet. Shh, quiet. I'm Sweetie.
And I'm Sweetie.
And tonight's movie is one of our very favorites. Favorite.
Do we say that every week, though?
Yeah. But, well, not for Casper, worst movie ever.
Yeah, no, this is official.
This is officially one of our favorite movies. Definitely one of our favorite family movies. It is Adventures in Babysitting. Why do we love this movie?
What a great flick.
Why do we love it so much?
I don't know. It was just always one that we had in our house to watch, I feel like. I don't remember the first time we saw it or like what the deal was. Did we get it at the movie store? Did we see it on TV? But it just was always in our lives, I feel like. I don't remember a time when it wasn't.
Wow. Just like, I don't remember a time in my life when you weren't there.
No. And I don't really either.
Which is really true because
I have like
I'm
couple,
younger than you, so
that's
you
true.
would have to be in my life all the time.
I know, but I had a couple years without you, and they sucked. I only remember a couple things, and they mostly include throwing up on my mother.
Wow. Great. I'm glad I could make that better for you.
And now, Adventures in Babysitting.
Adventures in Babysitting.
Made in 1987. Directed by Christopher Columbus. What a cool name. Do you think that's his real name, or he switched it?
I think it's his real name because otherwise it would be something else. Like if he was, he doesn't go by Christopher Columbus. You know what I mean? Like he knows. He's like in on it. He's like, yeah, I'm not Christopher Columbus.
Yeah,
I'm
and I don't think that's how Columbus spelled his name. And also, Christopher Columbus was not. I mean, he was Italian, right? So his name was like Cristobal Colombo or something. Yeah. So his name wasn't even Christopher Columbus.
I'm sure there's several Christopher Columbuses out there because it's not too uncommon of a name.
Totes. I know he's directed a ton of movies, but there's the one that comes to mind is a couple of Harry Potters, right?
Yep. Some other good ones.
And I learned in reading the stuff about this movie, he wrote the story Gremlins.
Oh yeah, that's why
he directed the Home Alones too.
Yeah, and Sarah has a Gremlins backpack as a nod to him.
But awesome. Go
totally
Chris.
Awesome.
Go C squared.
Yeah.
Starring
Elizabeth Shue.
That's really the big name to come out of this. There were
what about Keith Coogan or whatever?
Well, okay. Keith Coogan is like a gem of the 1980s movies. He's also in Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter Said, also a babysitting movie. Coincidence? God. I think not. And a little known movie that I was obsessed with as a child called Cheetah. Did anyone see this movie?
Yeah, wait.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
It was about him and his sister, like, rescuing his cheetah or something.
Yes. Their parents get killed.
No. Or
he eats the pate by accident. No, that's
it's really funny.
Reese Witherspoon?
Right. So it's not far and away where the parents get killed and they have to walk across the desert.
I thought it was that one.
But it's like that, but funnier. But this is something about saving a cheetah or something. It was like a Disney movie.
Duma?
Just kidding. No, I think it was called Cheetah.
Yeah,
if anyone knows about this movie, we're going to have to find it and watch it because I remember him being really funny and awesome in this.
I have vague memories of that, so sounds right.
Also, Penelope Ann Miller, who was in a couple 80s movies and 90s movies. The one I remember is The Gun in Betty Lou's Handbag or something. Do you remember this? No?
That's what the movie's called? The Gun in Betty Lou's Handbag?
Yes. Do research on it.
I can't read it on my phone.
Who else?
Vincent D'Onofrio.
Yep. That guy from Father of the Bride.
Yeah, the creepy guy.
Who I can never look the same again after that CSI episode when he was like a sketchy serial killer.
Bradley Whitford.
Yes. Strikes again.
What else was he in that we talked about?
Oh, nothing, but...
Are you sure?
We brought him up another time.
I feel like we did because we told the Bradley Whitford story.
No, because in Vice Versa, the mom, I was convinced that he was married to her. But he was married to her in another show. Oh. And then we're like, oh no, she's married to Bryan Cranston.
Okay. Good.
I think.
I guess. All right. Thank God.
Yeah.
I think that's it for notables.
Question mark? But actually no. And the Daryl Coopersmith is the guy from the original production of Rent, and then did the Rent movie too. If you've seen the Rent movie, he has 3 names. It's like Anthony Michael Weiner or something. No, Anthony Michael Hall, somebody else.
No, it was just too close for comfort.
Anyways, amazing movie, so funny. I don't think anyone sees this movie and doesn't laugh their face off. It's so clever. It's good adventure. It's amazing.
So amazing.
Do you want to tell them what it's about?
Oh, do I?
All right, I guess it's time for the sweet synopsis. Yes, it is.
I broke at the end there. Whew, it's tough. Okay. Chris Parker. I was like, damn it, I forget. Chris Parker is a high school senior in love with her boyfriend, Mike. She's excited because they're going out to a French restaurant. And that's fun. It's in Chicago. It's in the big city. She's so excited.
Yeah, she's only 17 and she's going to fancy French restaurant dates with her older boyfriend.
Don't get too excited. Don't get too excited.
Why? Why can't I get excited?
Doorbell rings. Mike's at the door.
What's wrong with Mike?
Well, nothing's wrong with Mike. Something's wrong with his baby's sister.
Oh, no.
She's got a cold.
No.
His parents are going out. He has to watch her. Date's off.
Damn it.
Sorry, Chris. So she's upset. She goes to her friend Brenda. She's like, oh, I'm so upset. And then her mom comes and says, Chris, the Andersons just called. They need a babysitter. Will you do it? And she's like, I'd rather be depressed and cry. And then her mom's like, no. Her friend's like, we're not doing anything tonight.
Well, her friend's like, babysit for the Andersons.
Yeah.
That'll depress anyone.
Yeah. And then, so she agrees to do it. She goes to the Andersons. The parents leave. She gets a phone. They get a phone call.
Well, you missed the beginning where Brenda is very upset. Oh, yeah. She hates her parents. She hates her stepmom. If she doesn't get out of the house soon, she's going to spike her tab with Drano.
Which is really just typical teenage problems, yeah. Brenda. Like way to overreact.
Blah, blah, blah.
Anyways, so, phone call. Who's on the phone?
Brenda.
Oh, my God. Where's Brenda?
Brenda did, in fact, run away from home. She spent all of her money. I don't understand this girl's, thought process. She used all of her money to take a cab into downtown Chicago to go to a bus station to then actually run away from home and go somewhere. But she doesn't have any fucking money left. So she's stuck at the sketchy bus station where there's a guy with a gun. She saw three bald Chinese... No. Three men...
A bald Chinese lady with no pants on.
Got shot up?
No, 3 people shot up. The bald lady just had no pants on. That was her scary thing.
And then she's in this phone booth and this old man's like, get out of my house! Because apparently he lives in the phone booth. So she's like, can I take a cab to the Andersons? You pay for it. Doesn't have $40 or whatever.
Who does at that time?
Yeah, that's apparently a lot of money. Can you come pick me up? I'm babysitting. No, okay, fine. I'll come pick you up. It's fine. She's going to leave the kids there. She's going to leave the older brother in charge of the little sister. But they said, no, we want to come. We want to go on this adventure with you or we're going to tell. So all the kids have to go with her into Chicago.
So they're on the highway. Oh, and meanwhile, Daryl Coopersmith.
Next door neighbor from hell.
Brad's. Do we talk about the kids? Do we even know?
Yeah. So there's a couple kids.
There's Brad, who has a very deep crush on Chris. Yep. There's Sarah, who's obsessed with Thor, and that's it. So Daryl is Brad's friend. So Daryl finagles his way into the station wagon. He gets to go. They drive off on the highway. It's nightfall all of a sudden, even though I don't think they're that far away from Chicago. And
she said it was an hour round trip, so they're only 30 minutes out of Chicago.
Yeah, so how was it
they live in Oak Park. It's a suburb.
So they're in the car. She's telling a scary story, Flat tire.
They get a flat tire.
They got to pull off the road.
Yeah. Luckily, a man in a tow
unluckily,
truck. Well,
no spare
the
tire.
adventure began. Oh yeah. So first, no spare tire. Number 2, she left her purse at home.
No.
So then they flag down now it's like really dark, and a tow truck comes, and the guy's like, okay, I'll tow you to the garage. Like, the tire's going to be $50. Like, we don't have $50. But then he said he'd spot him the money. Yeah. So they're like, okay, fine, whatever. So they get in the car, and he gets word on his radio that his wife, someone drove by his house, and there's a car in front of his wife's house, or like his house, because his wife is cheating on him. So he goes, she's with that bastard again, and like puts like pedal to the metal and like races to his house. He fucking
loses it. It's like he forgot where he was.
Yeah.
And he just sees red.
Did we mention that he has a hook?
He has
for
a hook.
hand?
He's a hook.
Yeah. And they were telling a ghost story with a guy with a hook for a hand, so it all kind of was like full circle. So they get to the house, and the guy pulls out a gun from his glove compartment, goes into the house, and starts beating up the dude who's porking his wife, and then shoots him, or tries to shoot him. I don't know, bad shot.
He's got one hand.
He has a hook for a hand. Like,
yeah. Difficult.
The guy runs outside, but then he's like shooting up, and the bullet goes through the window of the truck that they're in, and they're like, get out of the car. So they get out of the car, and they go into this car, the guy's car who is cheating. Yeah. Who the woman's cheating with.
Then they're like, all right, what do we do now? Lock the doors. The doors lock by themselves. What happened? How is that possible? Bam! Black guy.
Oh my God. No, hijacker.
You know that's what they were thinking.
There's a guy who's about to hijack the car. So he takes that, they're like, oh, can you drop us off? And he doesn't want to drop them off because they're in a bad part of town. They end up going to a chop shop and basically stumbling upon this like international chop shop endeavor where these, people steal cars, they bring them, they take the cars apart and make new cars, I guess. Is that what a chop shop is?
Sure.
I don't even know. Yeah. They're selling like high-class cars, though. So they make high-class cars out of the chopped up parts? Is that what a chop shop is?
I'm not really an expert on the chop shop phenomena, but we can look that up later.
Right.
But, so I feel like, this synopsis is going to get crazy, first of all, because there's a lot of moving pieces here.
I was just
basically, well, it's like we're sisters.
I know.
Basically, a lot of crazy shenanigans happen. The guys in the chop shop, there's one really mean, scary guy. He's terrifying. He looks like a Skeletor. He has yellow teeth. He's very upsetting. So the kids end up escaping from the chop shop, but Daryl steals the Playboy because Brad threw his dad's Playboy out the window, so he wanted a replacement. Little does he know there are very important things on that Playboy written on the centerfold. Something about their deal in some city.
Yeah.
And if the cops find it, they could lock those guys up for 20 years. So they have to get that back.
Additional thing, the centerfold, and this is like a running joke through the whole movie, looks exactly like Chris the babysitter. Keep that in mind.
Because it is Elizabeth's shoe, but not Chris.
They pretend it's not, like blah, blah, blah. So then they stumble upon, so then they escape, but then they're getting chased after them through these like dark alleys of Chicago. Only way out is there's this end of this road with a fence, and the only way out is to go into this jazz club, the Silver Dollar Jazz Club, and they run onto the stage. It's probably the most famous part of the movie. And the guy's like, oh, like, nice. She's like, nice little show you got here. Like, we got to get out of here. And he's like, nobody leaves this place without singing the blues. And she's like, what? She got to sing the blues.
They sing the blues. They sing the blues. It's a great song. Everybody loves it. They get out of there. They run. They're running. The guys are chasing them basically for most of the movie.
Yeah.
At some point, they finally get to Chris's mom's car.
Wait,
well, I'm just there's a lot of in between though.
Okay,
we'll talk about
cover
it.
them on
if
our
we keep
favorite
going
parts.
with this, the synopsis is going to be like an hour long.
Yep.
So they get the car back. They make one last stop because Chris sees dumb Mike at the French restaurant he was going to take her at, and she's like, "What the fuck?" So they go in. He's with another girl. Who's he with?
Sesame Plexer.
Sesame Plexer.
Is that the name of a cheating villain girl you hate or what?
Yeah. She's the worst.
Sesame.
So they give him the business. Mike gets kicked by Daryl. They run. Sarah's gone, however. In the meantime, she spots a toy store. decides that it's a wonderful time to go window shopping at 12 a.m. on the streets of Chicago.
She's flighty.
So, unfortunately, the bad guys see her. They chase her. She runs into her parents' building. Her parents are at a party on the top floor of that skyscraper, or close to the top floor. She decides the best thing to do is, that is not a cat, it's Sweetie getting a cough drop from a bag.
I think I'm getting a cold.
Oh my god.
I've been getting cold for like 3 months.
Mike's sister would make you some chicken soup? God.
Contagious.
Oh god. So Sarah goes to the top floor. One of the guys chases her. She says, oh shit, I think the best idea here would be to go out the window of the skyscraper. Terrible idea.
Let me ask you a question.
Yes.
What would be the thing that would make you go out the window?
A fire? I don't know. It's like the world. It's like 9/11. Like, what is the lesser, thing here?
When
Either
would you
this
go out
guy
the window?
who I just don't think.
Ask people
I don't think you would ever go out the window.
You wouldn't. I would rather be held up at gunpoint and maybe take the chance I'd live.
He didn't even have a gun. Like it drives me nuts.
Her decision making
Terrible.
is not good. I'm worried about that girl for the future.
So bad.
Trouble.
So she's out the window. Chris and Brad and Daryl go to the parents' party by accident. But then Chris sees little Sarah out the window of the skyscraper, just trucking along, like la la la.
So then they rescue her.
Yep.
And they have one more altercation with the bad guys, and they finally this time realize all they wanted was that fucking Playboy. This was the whole thing, why they're being chased after, and like all the nightmares from this stupid Playboy.
They could have just said, hi, I don't want to hurt you. I just want that Playboy. Right. But no.
But then it wouldn't have been a movie.
I guess.
They get back the Playboy. Joe Gipp punches out the mean guy, so he's no problem. They go in their car. They leave. They get home right before the parents do. Everything's right as rain. Finito. And everybody wins.
The moral of the story is you can do things you're not supposed to, and you'll be okay. No consequences.
Moral of the story is do not have a boyfriend with a Corvette and a license plate that says so cool. Because if you have a license plate that says so cool, you're immediately not cool. Am I right?
You're right.
Want to hear a little trivia fact about that?
Okay. So soon.
I know. Bradley Whitford, that's his real car, and that's his real license plate.
Oh, no!
He just went down about 20 pegs in my book, which I'm pissed about because he's my favorite character on The West Wing. Bradley, what is wrong with you?
But I feel like you can't show real license plates. And don't they always fuzz them out? Because it's, I don't know what you could do, but...
I mean, this is also IMDb trivia, so can't anyone add things?
Yeah, probably some dick face was like, good joke.
But if that's true, bad Brad.
I'm sure he doesn't have that car anymore.
We shouldn't call him Brad because it's confusing because the character's name is Brad too.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
So we don't really need to talk about him anymore, so that part's over.
Yeah.
Do you want to know who the real villain of this movie is?
Thor.
No.
I'm going to keep guessing.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so not the scary chop shop guy.
A formidable opponent, but not the ultimate villain.
Formidable opponent. Sesame Plexer?
No. It is Chris's mother.
Why?
Who lets their child take their station wagon and doesn't remember that there's no spare in the trunk? Come on,
Chris's
lady.
Mom, where was the spare?
Everything is her fault.
Yeah.
If she had remembered to put that spare tire in that car, none of this would have happened.
She also made her go babysitting.
Yes, exactly. See? Everything's her fault. She's the villain.
Yep.
True villain.
Good to know.
Thank you.
Good
yes.
one.
Yep.
I like it.
Yep. Who is the ultimate hero?
Boom, boom, boom. Joe Gipp.
Yes.
Joe Gipp.
Joe Gipp,
Joe's awesome.
Man of the hour.
So sweet and quiet.
He really is. And
I bet mild mannered.
I bet he's young.
A henchman.
And he has a blue leather jacket, which I appreciate.
I wonder if he did any other movies after this.
He did. He did one with Chuck Norris that I saw.
Whoa.
It's terrible. But the whole time I just kept being like, Joe Gipp did this, then Joe Gipp did that.
I do love that blue leather jacket. It's like the Thriller jacket, but it's blue.
It's really a sight to see.
Yeah.
Joe Gipp, Man of the Hour.
Mm-hmm.
MVG, I like to call him. Most Valuable Gipp.
I was like most valuable hour man of the what?
No, he just always saves the day.
Yeah, he's
like
cool.
something.
Cool.
There's a problem. Joe Gipp's here.
Yeah.
So I love him. He's my favorite character of all time.
All right, so let's talk about the finer points of this groundbreaking film about babysitting.
Okay. Well, my favorite part is the babysitting blues part. Mm-hmm. Would you say that is your favorite part as well?
Definitely one of them. It's a crowd pleaser. It's great to sing along with. Maybe we should do a couple bars.
I got this call from Brenda. I went to pick her up. My car had a blowout, and my mom's car got shot up. Then these guys started to chase us, and we all got hijacked. We're cruising down the highway in this big old Cadillac, and it's so hard.
It's so hard.
Babysitting these guys.
She's got the babysitting blues. Baby, babysitting blues.
Good one.
That's pretty good.
We are great.
Yeah.
They're great.
So that's a great part.
I had that on a CD in my car. I used to sing to it.
Well, let's just talk for a second about the music in this movie.
Sure.
This soundtrack, I think, is one of the best soundtracks I've ever heard in my whole life. Literally introduced me to so many songs as a young child, which then I ended up really looking in and researching. One of my favorite artists of all time is Sam Cooke, and that song that plays at the end got me. That's literally my favorite song.
It is. It's true.
I play it nonstop all the time, and I love Sam Cooke so much. Also introduced us to
Edwin
Starr, who is awesome.
15 miles to go, girl.
I like to run to that song.
Me too. Except then,
do you run?
yeah, the few times that I have, I always use that song because I'm like, this will help me run. And then I remember, wait, I fucking hate running. Yeah. Screw this. And then I stop.
But not your favorite Edwin Starr song. What is it?
Oh, my favorite is, whoa. Yeah, what is it good for? Absolutely nothing. Say it again now. So good.
So good. There's a Rolling Stones song in there, Gimme Shelter. Excellent. It's just a lot of random ones too when they're at that frat party and that band plays. They're just original songs from that band.
Also, and then he kissed me.
Yep, the Crystals, great 50s doo-wop song, so good. The Crystals are excellent in general.
Yeah, it's a great
Look
soundtrack.
them up. But I don't know who put together the soundtrack, but it's fucking amazing, and I want to give you 20,000 high fives. That's my high five sound.
Wow.
Kind of sounds like guns.
It does sound like a gun. Scary.
So yeah, soundtrack amazing. I would like to talk a little bit about Elizabeth Shue.
Okay.
Elizabeth Shue is a beautiful person. She's so pretty. It's disgusting how pretty she is. However, she is way too old to be in this movie. She was 25 or 24 when they filmed this, and she's supposed to be 17. Okay.
In your dreams.
And I know they do that a lot with Dawson's Creek. They did it. I think those kids were kind of in their 20s, but they look sort of in high school.
She just had a lot of makeup on, so it's not like they tried to make her look younger. She looked pretty old. She's wearing this majestic tan coat that was her grandfather's that fits. She's wearing a striped scarf and then these yellow mustard gloves, which I'm obsessed with. Yeah. And she's always wearing them.
Sweetie pointed that out today, which I didn't even realize it. She wears those gloves the entire movie. It's weird.
Didn't she get sweaty hands? Yeah. I get sweaty hands.
She's inside a lot.
Yeah, especially when you're driving.
Pocket.
No.
Chris Parker.
Also not safe.
I read a couple of different other so there's so many on IMDb listed, so many actresses who wanted the lead. Mm-hmm. So Julia Louis-Dreyfus, random, Jodie Foster, Michelle Pfeiffer, left, was really gonna do it, and then made the Witches of Eastwick. Valerie Bertinelli.
Older. I feel like all these people were way older than
Justine Bateman. They listed so many people. It was bizarre. Sharon Stone.
What? Come
on. So weird.
Wow.
But I'm glad they landed on Elizabeth Shue.
Yeah, she's the perfect.
She was so good in it.
So funny.
I hope it really launched her career. I think she was in Cocktail before this. And then I forget what else. But yeah, she's awesome. Shout out Elizabeth Shue. Not spelled like a shoe.
Back to the Future 2.
You don't have a shoe face.
Back to the Future 2, not Back to the Future 1. Because there's a different Jennifer.
And she's in the third one too, right?
Probably, but we wouldn't know because we hate that movie.
Yep.
But yeah, she's great. Let's see. My notes are Latin to me, right? I don't know what they're saying.
Latin?
I don't know what they
do have bad handwriting anyway.
I can't put it together.
I have a lot of jokes I haven't gotten to yet.
Okay.
It's like crazy.
Well,
I guess I've actually kind of talked about these. Scariest villain ever? Check.
We didn't really talk. I mean, he's very scary.
Yeah.
If there's a list of like top 20 villains, I would put him at like number 5 of all time.
What?
The creepy chop shop guy.
Like his eyes are all red all the time.
And his teeth are yellow, and he's like, has a scary voice. He's like, leave the children to me.
No.
I'm a villain.
No, he goes, I'll take care of the children.
He was obviously a Nazi or something. Like, I'm sure he's played a Nazi in something. He seems like he would be one.
He's dead now. He's real dead.
Oh, no. Throat cancer?
Probably. Yikes. So this being an 80s movie, I feel like looking back at it, there's a lot of inappropriate things that, we laughed at, but would really never be put into movies now. And probably the biggest one is around this running joke that so little girl Sarah loves comic book stuff, but particularly Thor, and her brother is always making fun of her about it and like, oh, Thor's stupid, whatever, blah blah. But his big thing is calling Thor a homo. So bad.
Which also,
and it's a huge joke in this movie.
Sure, but it also, I mean, it confused the crap out of me because we watched this a lot. I did not know what that word meant.
Nope.
So I called you that in the car. And our mother got very upset with me. And I was like, what? I thought it was like a homeless person. That's what I thought. It makes sense, right? Homeless, homo.
I was as confused as you. I wonder if Mom was like, does Andre know something that I don't know? Is Emily a lesbian?
It's true. I mean, you hadn't had your Devon Sawa sexual awakening yet,
I still could have been a lesbian.
It's very possible.
That's rude to lesbians out there.
But yeah, that's one. There's also a rape joke.
Yep.
Male rape.
Male rape.
Is a little different. But I'm sure male rape was like not a thing in the 80s yet.
Yeah.
So that was a little awkward.
Yeah. I guess those are the big ones.
Yeah.
Big, like, inappropriate ones.
And then this movie, speaking of homos, this movie confused the crap out of us for several reasons. Once again, we did not understand a lot of the jokes in this, and it's funny to go back now and watch this and say, oh, didn't get that back in the day.
Yep.
Didn't get that.
Just laughed anyway. Yep. Thought it was funny.
Yep, so that was the homo one. That was the big one. For me, it was at the end when they see Mike at the French restaurant with Sesame Plexer, and he's like, don't bother, kid. Her legs are locked at the knee. I had no idea what that meant.
You know what I thought it meant?
That she was a mermaid?
That she had trouble walking. That she was like a gimp.
Joe Gipp? Joe Gipp. You're Joe Gipp.
No, poor Chris. Prudy McProodster.
Well, in high school. And
I'm glad.
She's a good person. She's a good girl. Not that you're a bad girl if you have sex.
Yeah. I mean, Sesame... What does she call Sesame Plexer?
That's
sleazy? No, is she like a sleaze?
Yeah, that's...
Sleaze, which is a weird word for a woman.
I don't know.
Yeah.
We're not sure.
She messed that up. I thought... so I was confused about that. I was always confused about the part where Daryl, like, knocks at the door, and it's like that, and so he's like, oh, like, I'll get it. And so Daryl, like, wants to come into the house to, like, ogle Chris and stuff, and Brad's like, get out of here, blah, blah, blah. So Brad comes back in the room, and Chris is like, who is at the door? And Brad goes, stray dog. And I always laugh hysterically because I just imagine like a stray dog knocking on the door like that. But I thought he said straight og, which was like Daryl Coopersmith's nickname or something.
No, I thought his nickname was Stray Dog. Like, that's what I thought. And then because later, she's like, who is this kid? And Sarah goes, Stray Dog. So it made sense that she would have known that. Because I didn't think that Sarah knew that Daryl was at the door when he...
But once we learned the actual joke, it's really funny.
Yeah, it's very funny.
I like always crack up so hard.
That is a good one.
Stray Dog. Yeah, hysterical. I love the part on the train when there's these two, so they're on the train, they're like, whoo, like we got away from the guys, like once again. They're always just getting away from those bad guys. And they get on the train, and these two gangs, blue color and a red color gang, like come onto the train. And one, like the train is they own that train or whatever, but then the train is rolling into the other gang's turf. So then there's like a gang war. And I don't know how gangs work, and people just like fight for no reason and kill each other. Like, if you're in a gang, call us up and let us know how that works.
If you would have seen a film which I'm demanding you've seen several years now, called The Warriors, you would know exactly what gangs do. And it's all about turfs. And this was a big thing. So it's, I mean, whose turf is it if you're on the train, which is a gang's turf, fuzzy. And then it's going into someone. Yeah, it was very fuzzy. So they do battle, but then they're like, wait, can you wait until we get off the train? And then Brad always has to be the hero when Chris is involved. He gets this hero complex.
I like the theme of this movie for these kids are like, how to get out of tough situations. Be as polite as possible. That's like how they try to do it.
Suburban white kids.
I know. That's what makes it so funny. They're always like talking to gangsters and being like, Brad's always like introducing himself like it's like a cocktail party. It's so funny. So this one, she's like, Brad tries to stand up for her because they call her a bitch. They're like, sit down, bitch. And he's like, you apologize. You take that back. So funny. So then they throw a knife into his shoe.
And it lands ever so smoothly into the shoe.
Into the shoe. And Elizabeth's shoe, Chris Parker freaks out. She
not into Elizabeth's shoes.
Takes out the knife and she goes, don't fuck with the babysitter. It's such a good part. And all the guys are like, hey, baby, chill out.
Chill, baby, chill.
So great.
So good.
Then they take him to the hospital. And there's this great line where he's like, my one chance of being in a gang fight and all I get is one stitch.
The doctor goes, one stitch, all better. That doctor looks like he's gonna fall asleep.
What? Was it the bags under his eyes?
Is he drugged?
Is that like a weird Indian stereotype doctor too?
Well, it is now, because you said that. You made the stereotype.
What?
But,
no.
Yeah, but this movie, like many movies in the 80s that took place in Chicago, once again tells us that cities, but especially Chicago, is the scariest place on earth to be. Mm-hmm. Here are just a few of the things we run into on a normal night in Chicago. A carjacker, a shootout, gangs, a chop shop, hobos with trash can fires, prostitutes, a rap circle outside of the train. What am I missing?
Subway rat?
A subway rat at the bus station. Giant rat. Scary people at the bus station. Guy with a gun. Homeless man that lives in the phone booth. Mm-hmm. There's just so many. Every scary thing that could happen to you in the city happens to them in this movie. And it's probably a big reason I never wanted to go to the city when I was little.
It makes you not want to go to that city. That's rough. I mean, this is another Chicago-ish. This one actually takes place in Chicago. But yeah, it's like a rough neighborhood. But I still want to go to Chicago.
You've been to Chicago.
Let's see. We missed the part where they go to a frat party, so they stumble upon.
I don't like that part.
You don't like the frat party?
It's my least favorite part.
Oh my god,
it's boring. It's like a way down
slips on the ice.
It's a very random part, but yes.
It's a sick frat party though, and they have like a band there. Okay, I was in a sorority. I went to a lot of frat parties. We never had bands.
Animal House. They had fucking Otis Redding and.
I went to the wrong school. But I'd just like to bring up the fact, so the tire that they are trying to get, they don't have the money for this tire, right? Like Chris doesn't have her purse. And I guess she had a checkbook. So that like.
Checks were a big
thing. That's all you had. You
and
didn't have debit cards.
You could, I guess, I don't know if you can still do this, but you can rewrite the check to somebody else. That part is so confusing to me. I don't think that's how checks work.
Yeah, no, you could do that.
What? You cross out the name?
Yeah. What? And then put somebody, or no, you put it on the back. You endorse to somebody else. Isn't that what it is or something?
I have no idea.
Yeah. I remember that vaguely, but now checks are so foreign and maybe that was like old school Venmo if you think about it.
Yes. Seems like a
Venmo via paper.
Hassle.
Yeah, so there's this whole thing where Brenda's at the bus station, tries to buy a $2 hot dog with a check that someone, how does she phrase it?
Sure.
She's
it's a good check. It's
I wrote it over to me. Is that what you call it?
She brought press-on nails or something.
Yeah.
And gave the check
I gave her the difference, and Chris wrote the check over to me. Yeah. So you could somehow write a check over to somebody else.
First of all, how much were press-on nails that we needed to cover a difference?
Yeah. Well, also let's talk about money in this movie. So the tire that they need is $50, and they are going to struggle getting this money, blah blah blah, obviously, because how much was $50 back in 1987? So I did a little research. $50 in 1987 was $107.52. So it has doubled.
Sad.
In 87. So that's
state.
Now almost that's 20. This movie will be 20 years old next year.
No.
So currency or the with inflation, whatever, has doubled the price of the dollar. Well,
more than, right?
Yeah, more than doubled.
Yeah.
That's freaky. So then, if you keep that in mind, how much do you think Chris got paid to babysit?
$5.
Well, it was from till 1 o'clock in the morning. So
when did she start?
Probably 6 p.m., let's say. So 7 hours. Did she make $30? That blows. If you said $5
you
an
could
hour.
almost buy a tire with that money. That's a lot of money. That would be almost getting $80 today.
That would have sucked if she'd used
she
all
got
her
way less
babysitting
than
money to pay back that dude for the tire.
I bet she got $5.
An hour.
No.
Yes.
No way.
Yes.
No way. In the 80s? I got $5 an hour in
So you think it was
2000.
$3 or something?
It was something sad.
What?
I guarantee it.
Oh my god, I'm confused. I really need to know. Who was a babysitter in 1987? Give us the juice. So that part's awesome. I love the Vincent D'Onofrio part because it's so random. Knowing what has been in since then.
He's so tiny. It's the tiniest he's ever been in his life.
And muscular. And I forget he's that tall because he's so fat, so it doesn't look like it anymore. But I just want to say that when I was little and I watched this, another thing I was really confused about, I legit thought that was Thor at the end.
Me too. I wrote that in my notes. I wrote, but is he Thor?
Yes. So at the end, at first he's oh, I'm just a mechanic, whatever. But then he's when he gives her the hat, and he's I don't need this kid. I have one at home. I'm it is Thor. It is.
That scallywag. He fooled us. But
so confused.
But if he's not, why does he get so freaking? Why does he cream his pants so bad that the little kid's "You're my hero"? Yeah. It totally switches a switch off.
Really softened him up.
I don't buy it. I think he's either actually Thor or a child molester. Yeah. I'm not sure, but
Thor wasn't in Chicago.
Right. I know. Sarah's delusional. She's all superheroes are in cities, which means that any city anyone is in, there's a superhero. Right. So, but I don't think he was in. I mean, I don't know a lot about Thor, but I'm pretty sure he's in the sky because he's a god. So, I'm not sure. I'm not sure about that one. But yeah, that was a big question of mine. Big question.
I like how they made a little girl interested in superheroes.
Yeah, that's true.
I think that was a neat thing.
It was very ahead of its time.
Yeah.
Totally. Although she does have one random poster of jelly beans on her wall. I'm not sure where that fits in. Yeah. It just says candy on the bottom. Go back and see it. It's really weird. It's they had a blank space and they were shit, we need something quick. Put this up.
We have no more Thor posters.
I got it.
Yeah. It's so good. I don't know. What else? What else did you like about this movie?
I love all the bus scene. Brenda's bus station shenanigans is another one of my favorite things. Just every time they cut to her, it's just always hilarious.
I've been I remember I went to school in Schenectady, New York, and I had to go through Albany when I didn't have a car the first couple of years, and I had to take this 8-hour bus ride to go home to Cape Cod. And Albany Bus Station looked exactly like that. It had the TVs attached to the chairs. And when I walked in for the first time, I was oh my God, I'm in the movie Adventures in Babysitting.
God, terrifying.
So scared. And there was really sketchy people there because who takes the bus?
Oh, yeah.
Poor college kids and people who don't have cars.
Nothing good
Why don't you have a car? Because something is wrong with you.
Nothing good ever happened to me when I would have to take the bus.
Yes, the bus is full of
someone terrifying
weirdos.
would sit next to me and it would be the worst thing ever. Yeah. But this movie is... sometimes I have a problem with these kinds of movies where everything in the world possible that can go wrong does go wrong. Yeah. But this one, is fun. Yes, it's frustrating that they almost are set free. They have the car. They're ready to go home. And they spot Mike at the restaurant, or Sarah decides to take a trip to the toy store and go window shopping because window shopping for toys is the greatest thing. What? It's the last thing I'd want to do.
It was a shitty toy store, too.
I know.
There's just teddy bears in the window. I'm
they look like carnival teddy bears.
Shitty toy store. Sorry.
She's dumb. That just really upsets me. I'm this is no place for a child to be gallivanting around the streets by herself at 12 o'clock in the morning.
Can we go to Haagen-Dazs?
Oh my god. Oh yeah. So and then this movie also, I don't know if because these were like Chicago, like Midwest things that we didn't know about them, but we had no idea what Haagen-Dazs was when she said that. I was like, what is that? What is this magical place?
Can we go to Haagen-Dazs? Not too late.
And then what was the other thing? I was like, that's real. Oh, Brenda makes a quip about Dairy Queen. Yeah. It's like going to Dairy Queen. You only get one flavor. And I was like, that's not relevant now. They have so many flavors.
They do.
Or is it just stuff you can mix in? But they have chocolate at least.
Right.
I feel like they had chocolate back then, too.
Yeah, but of course they did. When was there ever a Dairy Queen?
Brenda is a fucking idiot.
Yeah, Brenda's a liar.
She's a drama queen. And also, I mean, obviously, I know I said Chris's mom was the true villain and everything was her fault. But really, Brenda...
It's Brenda's fault.
Definitely Brenda's fault. Definitely.
So...
I mean, a lot of people are at fault here, really. Because Brenda's at fault. Daryl for taking the Playboy. Yep. Really, I mean, that was a big no-no.
Yeah.
The only person who really was...
Mike Todwell.
Who's that? Oh, Mr. So Cool.
Mr. So Cool.
Brad
the boyfriend.
Whitford. I got confused.
Are you calling him Brad now? You're on a first name basis?
I got confused. I didn't realize that was his last name. I forgot.
So, question. What do you think happened to Chris Parker post this story? Let's make up an alternate life.
Well, originally she did not want to go to college. Right. It was apparently a thing in the 80s. Was like not a thing that everybody did was go to college. However, at the end of this movie, the guy she meets at the frat party, creepy guy from Father the Bride, forget his name.
He's not creepy in that movie.
No. Sarah leaves her roller skate in the back of his Jeep. He nicely brings it back to her just as she's leaving the house. Thank God, he could have ruined everything if he had arrived earlier or later, I guess. Yeah. Later in the night. It was like, oh, your kid. And the parents were like, why was her roller skate in the back of this man's Jeep?
Creeper.
Anyway, so he brings it back to her. They have a nice moment outside. They kiss. So my theory is immediately she says, well, I guess I want to go to college now because there's cute boys that go there. So I think she ends up going to college. She probably studies
babysitting.
No.
Jazz music.
Sexist. She could be a jazz singer. She could be a jazz singer at the Silver Dollar Lounge.
She probably waitressed there. First white cocktail waitress.
I was gonna say I didn't see any white people.
That's why it's so funny.
At that
do you think Brad and her stayed friends?
Friends is a...
I don't ignore friends, Brad.
I mean, when would they have hung out? She would have come back and called him up and been
That's why he's so sad.
Hi, Brad.
Has that sad look on his face when he closes the door and she's kissing somebody else. Poor Brad. You know, I'm pissed because I really wanted them to be together because he would have been a good boyfriend.
He's little.
He was, okay, he's 2 years younger.
He needs
Huge
to
beef
learn
about this movie. So she says literally 3 times, but you're just a child. You don't have the money. You're a kid, for Christ's sake. He's 15, she's 17. Get over it. Like, what is wrong with you? He would have made a great boyfriend. I'm pissed.
I'm sorry. I know. It's not fair.
He stood up to her in front of gangs.
And Mike...
What did Mike Tiddlywink
I was like, wait, Ray Tidwell? That's Ray Tidwell from Jerry Maguire. Yeah, he didn't do anything. He lied to her and cheated on her. He's the worst.
Do you remember Tiddlywinks?
Yes.
That was a really
hardest game ever. We played it recently and we were like, why is this so fucking hard? Who invented this? It sucks.
It's like a horrible drinking game that you can't win, but you're not drinking.
Ugh, so bad. Tiddlywinks. Anyway. But yes, I'm sorry you feel that way. I don't feel that way, but it's okay.
I love this movie, but I wish for an alternate ending. I just want everyone to be with Keith Coogan.
Well, when our directing career takes off, that'll be our first project.
Yeah.
We'll Kickstarter that one, raise some money. We'll probably have to ask Chris Columbus for the rights, for permission, but I'm sure he would let it happen because who doesn't want to know what these guys are up to? And we'll have the same actors. Everyone will look so old.
Daryl Coopersmith
except
works
for Elizabeth Shue, who looks great still.
Yeah. Daryl Coopersmith works for Playboy. He's the editor-in-chief of Playboy. I'm making it up.
I was like, did you see my face?
Mike Toddwell, whatever his name is.
I was like, holy shit, that is one hell of a coincidence.
That's the best trivia I've ever heard.
It's better than Atreyu being a tattoo artist.
He's fake. He's not real.
I know. I messed up.
Mike Tidwell is bald and owns a Corvette mechanic shop.
He owns the chop shop.
He's married to Sesame
Chicago.
Plexer.
Oh, good. What about Joe Gipp?
Joe Gipp got out of the chop shop business. He moved to Boise, Idaho, and he owns a mall.
The mall? Where the hell do we think we are? Boise, Idaho? Oh, so many good lines. So many good lines.
There's this is another one we say a lot of them in like a daily basis. Just like say things all the time.
Don't you ever
I say
die
that one to
on
you a
me.
lot.
Ever. Okay, I won't.
Okay, I won't.
Take him to the hospital. You say that sometimes.
It's so good.
Oh, it's great.
Yeah.
One of our family favorites. I think we made our family watch this on Thanksgiving.
We
one
did,
year.
and they liked
like
it.
Our other
Not as
side
much
of the
as us,
family.
but they really liked it.
No, they appreciated it.
Yeah.
For sure. For sure.
Yeah. If you haven't seen this one, I'm sure you have, or else you would not be listening to this podcast.
You never know. People
But-
might just want to hear our lovely voices.
Guys, this is such a good movie, and I laugh so hard, and it's always good to watch. I never get sick of it.
Watch it now. It's on Netflix.
Yep.
Watch it before they take it away, those evil hags.
Yeah. Get on it, kiddos. Okay, well, I think we're just about ready to wrap it up. This was a
Yeah.
lengthy one, but lots to talk about.
Yeah.
Intricate plot, alternate endings. Yeah.
Yeah, it's coming at you.
Yeah.
Sequel,
Yeah.
2018.
Yeah. 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 I'm singing this song again. If you ever change a movie, come to Large Marge Sent Us, and we will talk about floozies. I'm not like Chris Parker. I can't just improvise on the spot, though I really can, and we're actually pretty good at it.
Except for just now. It was a disaster.
That was horrible. Thanks for
Anyways,
listening, guys.
thanks, guys. Talk to you next time. Bye. Bye.